Let's talk about top makeup under $10. Some of it is right at 10, but I figured I would still include them because they're worth the $10. A lot of this makeup under $10 is new or new releases that I've been playing with and I just can't get enough of, and I just share with you guys again. And then some of the other makeup I just rediscovered. They've been released for years, but I just rediscovered them again from my makeup stash, and I've been playing with them and I want to share or talk about them with you guys. We have a full face, so let's get right into it. This might seem backwards, but the top makeup under $10 for eyebrow gels, I have two of them, and I'll explain why. So the first one is the NYX The Brow Glue in Clear versus the brand new released Essence, their Fix It Like a Boss Transparent Brow Gel. I kind of want to put 1-to-1 and see if I like them both the same or if I like one more or less. I like to run this. I'm just gonna go back and forth to really get the gel in the eyebrows. And then go back and just start smoothing down the hairs. I would say right away Essence. I don't think it's gonna work as good for shaping my brows. The formula is very fluid in comparison to the NYX. The NYX, it really almost laminated the brows versus Essence just kind of ran the product through. I think I'm actually gonna clean that off and just put the NYX as my brow shaper. Let's fill them in with probably the best pencil, eyebrow pencil under $10. If you know, you know. NYX, their micro brow pencil in shade Cool Ash Brown. Such a good eyebrow pencil under $10. One of my favorites. It's creamy enough, it's pigmented, it's buildable, it's blendable, and the color lasts all day long. And the precision of this pencil is so nice because you can create those hair-like strokes, but it also, you can fill in your brows pretty quick once you have your shape down. The next makeup product under $10 that's phenomenal. It actually comes in right at $10. The new e.l.f. The Power Grip Primer with 4% niacinamide. So this is the second version of their Power Grip Primer. The first one is like that green one. That's a really good dupe for the Milk Makeup Power Grip or the Gripping Primer. This one I would say it's a little more dewy and glowy. So if you have very dry skin, you might really enjoy this. But I do like this for my skin type as well. I'm normal to combo skin in the T-zone. I get pretty oily, but then in other areas I can get pretty dry. But the rest of my face, it's normal. It's not dry and it's not oily. But I like to use this primer around my pores, on my nose, but kind of skipping my forehead in a way. Very interesting texture. It's tacky, but it's not extremely wet. But I do find that I really like to work this into my skin to soften the texture. I'm gonna take a little bit more. And this is a gripping primer. So if you don't like gripping primers, you will not enjoy this because it does have that tackiness. I'm throwing it way back. This is my original love for my lips to prep them before I do my makeup. This right here is the Smith's Rosebud Salve, and I love this cosmetic. I love this lip product. It's so good. My lips are just always dry. It doesn't matter what season, how hot, how cold. I was blessed with very dry lips. So I was going back and forth between the best makeup, the best foundation under $10 because there's not that many, I'll be honest with you. But I do have some options. You'll probably know which ones. The first one being the Wet n Wild. They have their dewy and they also have a matte version. So dewy for normal to dry skin, matte is going to be more for normal to oily to combo skin. I enjoy this, but I will say one thing. The foundation kind of sits on top of your skin, really enhancing and exaggerating the texture. I do enjoy it. I think it works great for under $10, but it's not my favorite. I think what I do enjoy more would have to be the Maybelline Fit Me line. It's the same thing. They have the dewy and smooth for like normal to dry, and then they also have the matte and poreless for normal to oily or normal to combo skin. I like these more because I think I get better wear time and my skin is not as exaggerated. So it just depends on the season, but I like to use either one or sometimes even mix the two formulas together to get more of like a natural finish. But today I'm actually gonna mix these two together, the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth plus matte and poreless. I find that I can get a solid medium coverage with either one, but I do get a little bit better wear time with the matte and poreless. I'm gonna use my Honest Beauty foundation brush. This is not under $10, but I think it's worth the money. I believe it's $16. Now this is a newer discovery for me. This is the Makeup Revolution, the IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer. I like this one for those days where I'm wearing makeup, but I'm not doing like a full glam. The applicator is really cool. It's kind of like a little foot. It's a doe foot applicator, but it just kind of fits so perfectly right in here. It's a very thin formula where it's really easy to use, very easy to apply, very easy to blend. But this one is great because it does have that soft matte finish where you don't really have to use setting powder to set your concealer. If you have dry skin, but if you have oily skin, I would still use a little bit of setting powder to set it, so it wouldn't crease as much. For my bronzer, I would say this is the top bronzer for under $10. This is the ColourPop, their Super Shock bronzer, but this is in color Isle Bay or Isle Bet. Can't stop using it. It is so good. In my opinion, it is better than the e.l.f. putty bronzers, which I still enjoy, but this one I like because it has the longevity. It sits on the skin better than the e.l.f. putty bronzers from my experience. So you can use this under makeup, over makeup. Beautiful formula, and they last all day long on me. You can go very light-handed, very minimal, very natural, or you can really build up this product, but I do enjoy how easy it is to use. All right, let's go to blush. This one is also new to me. It's not as new, it's newer to NYX. This is their Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint Blush Mousse. I would say this is one of the best blushes under $10. It's a really beautiful blush. This one honestly looks like a lipstick. It even has a little doe foot applicator. This particular shade is, what are you? Baby Doll. And this does have a matte velvet, I would say like matte velvet satin finish. And it also feels honestly similar to ColourPop, their Super Shock products, where they kind of had that wet mousse texture, but then it dries down to a complete matte. And I find that you do have to work this in right away. Otherwise, it kind of becomes hard to blend out. And these are pretty pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. But you do have to kind of sit here and really work it into your skin. And again, you can always soften this if it's too much. Go in your foundation brush, just soften it. The next makeup product under $10 is a setting powder. This is from e.l.f. This is their Halo Glow setting powder in the specific shade light pink. This is really, really beautiful because it does have that slight glow from within, but it sets your makeup. It kind of softens everything together, but it doesn't mattify. I'm just using a big fluffy brush. There's a lot of great ones. This specific one that I'm using is Rare Beauty. A little more supple, just a little more softened, a little more airbrushed, a little more blurred, but it still gives that beautiful glow from within. Let's move on to eyes. This eyeshadow primer by Milani. It's their eyeshadow primer. It's very lightweight, has invisible finish like they claim, and it's one of the better ones under $10. If you have a lot of discoloration on your eyelids, this is not the type of primer that's going to cancel out. It's just going to create a nice, very even base for your eyeshadow. A phenomenal little eyeshadow palette under $10. This one comes right at $9.99. It's from Milani. This is their mini Gilded eyeshadow palettes. I'm gonna go in and use the two darkest shades. I'm going to basically just kind of very lightly smoke out the lower lash line and the top lash line. I'm using a little brush, like a little eyeshadow packing smoking brush. In general, I enjoy Milani eyeshadows. They're pigmented enough, they're very buildable. Sometimes they're a little bit too powdery, so you do have to work it in layers. And I find that I like them used best first before the rest of my makeup, but I figured I'm not gonna use as much eyeshadow today, so this would be totally fine. To intensify, add a little pop of glitter, a little bit of life to my eyelids, I will use the ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows. Again, phenomenal eyeshadows under $10. There's so many colors. This one is in color Ladybird, and this one is in shade Polly, so I might actually mix the two. It's subtle enough, but still glittery and festive on the eyelids. If you wanna make these eyeshadows pop, just take an eyeshadow brush, kind of like a dense flat eyeshadow packing brush, and wet the formula. And to intensify the eyes just a little bit more, gel eyeliner. This is from Essence, their long-lasting eye pencil. 18 hours of wear with waterproof formula. This is in shade Hot Chocolate, And this, I believe they're only $2.99. So a phenomenal gel eyeliner pencil from the drugstore under $10 that actually performs. They're pigmented enough, they're creamy enough, they're buildable, they wear really well. I'm just gonna focus this mostly on the outer corner. Before this sets, take a brush just to smoke it out a little bit and soften the edges. Only thing with these pencils, you have to work really fast with them. Otherwise, when they set, they set. To finish off the eyes, another great makeup item under $10, the e.l.f. Lash and Roll Mascara. I still can't get enough of it. It's a beautiful everyday mascara. I like the applicator. It's silicone bristles, so you can really get in there to those really tiny, pesky little lashes, and also really separates, lengthens, and it gives me the slightest volume that I need. But I do like that it gives me really long lashes along with separation and definition. My favorite or top lip liner under $10, I have two options. We have NYX, I think it's just their lip pencil in this specific shade, Nude Truffle, and Milani, their color statement lip liner in their True Intense color number 4. Beautiful lip liners. So the bottom swatch, that's Milani. It has a little bit more of like a rosy undertone versus NYX. It's definitely more of a true truffle tone. It's a little more brown, but it's really beautiful with pretty much any kind of lipstick that's in the pink family, in the brown family, and the nude family. It's beautiful. The Milani, it's really, really stunning with lighter nudes or pinkier, rosy, mauvey tones. So it just depends on the mood. And for lipstick, this is a new launch and a new lipstick to me. This is from She Glam, and this is it's one of their newest launches, but it's a matte lipstick, and it's supposed to be transfer proof. But this particular shade, I'm obsessed with. In Rule Breaker. But with this, I don't like to go and swipe it. I like it more of like you tap it in on your lips and really work it into your lips. And then to finish off, I'm gonna apply a little bit of brow gel. This is the one that I first introduced in the beginning, the Essence Fix It Like a Boss. And that completes the top makeup under $10. There were a couple that were right at $10, but I wanted to include them. Like again, like I said, they're really good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found some products or kind of reassured you that if this is what you've been looking at, a specific makeup product, that it's worth it. It's worth $10 or less because these makeup products actually perform. They wear really well. I love the application, the blendability. They have a nice pack of punch from the pigment. Coverage is good. But most importantly, it still looks like your skin, it looks like your face, it just enhances your beautiful features. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching, spending time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.